Hey, good morning, guys. So we're going to start our first remote lesson on the web page under your date, whether it's the E or F block. You're going to be hitting March 16th or 17th. If you would like to follow along, you can either write on a piece of scrap paper or you can download and print the 2.6 notes. Okay, following these notes, you will then follow the directions to submit a homework assignment. You're going to go up to that activities tab at the top, and then the first one down, you're going to click on that. You're going to find the assignment for 2.6. You can either download and print, or you can write on a separate sheet of paper, and then you can upload, and under that same area, you'll click hand in. Miss Finney and I are going to be adding credit to PowerSchool. You must submit the day after we have class, virtual class, and your assignment must be submitted by the following day at 6 p.m. So for those of you who have an E-Day class, that would be our period 7 class. Today is Monday, so tomorrow by Tuesday at 6 p.m. you must have submitted your assignment for full credit. Also, make sure that you're clicking on the poll each day to sign in on our page, but also make sure when you are signing in that you hit the Google attendance for the school, or else if you get stuck, call the school and leave your name and just say, I'm signing in for blank day. So for example, I would say, hi, this is Lauren Friedman. I am signing in for Monday, March 16th. That's it. That's all you say, and then hang up. A lot of people will be calling, so just say that. Again, I'm sorry, this is a little bit blurry, but it's the best I can do. Okay, so just try to follow along. I might also, myself or Miss Finney, upload some other like Khan Academy or YouTube videos that have some of the same topics if you need some additional practice or you get frustrated and think that these notes are a little too blurry. Okay, so I'm gonna give it a shot, and maybe tomorrow or the next day they'll look a little clearer. We're gonna play around with some different applications. Okay, so let's get started. 2.6 notes. You can label March 16th, this is the E-Day, or if you're on the F-Day block, you will label as March 17th. So all the pre-calc classes are starting 2.6 rational functions. Most of this is algebra 2 review, but some of this is new. So we're going to review finding the domain and x and y intercepts. So you set the denominator equal to 0. I already get started on that. And you write x minus 1 equals 0. So you solve, you get x equals 1. So the domain is all numbers except x cannot be 1. Okay? These domain restrictions, we're going to have to pay attention at times when we're able to cross out factors, which we can't here. They're going to create holes in our graph. Okay, they're either going to create a asymptote, a vertical asymptote, which I'll remind you about later, or they'll create some kind of hole in the graph. Okay, so far we know that we cannot have 1, and we know that it's going to be a vertical asymptote because no factors cancel out. Okay, so it says also find x and y intercepts. So to find an x-intercept, we plug 0 in for y. Okay, so I'm going to plug 0 in for y. And then if I cross multiply, if I multiply by the denominator, right, 0 times that is going to cancel. So we'll have 0 is equal to 3x. And if we divide by 3, we would get x equals 0. So that would be our x-intercept, or the ordered pair is 0, 0. I plugged 0 in for y, and out came 0 when I solved. Now to find our y-intercept, we're going to plug 0 in for x, right? So for our y-intercept, we're going to say y is equal to 3 times 0 over 0 minus 1. So we get y is 0 over negative 1. So our y-intercept is also 0. So we'll have the ordered pair 0, 0. Next one, so it says find the domain. So we're going to set our denominator equal to 0 and solve. So for the domain, we'll set x squared minus 13x plus 30 equal to 0 and solve. Now we're going to have to try factoring, right? What multiplies to a times c, which is 30, that adds to b, which is negative 13. So what combo? Let's see, 1 and 10, no. 2 and 15. 15 needs to be negative. So 2 and negative 15. So we'll have x plus 2, x minus 15. And we set each of those equal to 0 and solve. Oops, x minus 15 equals 0. So when we solve, we get x equals 15 and x equals negative 2. So those are our restrictions. So for the domain, it's going to be all reals, but x cannot be negative 2 or 15. Because no factors cancel out, numerator and denominator, we know that these are going to be vertical asymptotes. At x is negative 2 and x is 15. So we'll review that later. But remember, vertical asymptote looks like that. It's going to be a line that your graph will approach but not touch. So again, x and y-intercept. So x-intercept, if we put 0 in for y, we would get 0 equals... Now the denominator, when we multiply both sides by the denominator, is going to cancel out. So we'll just get 0 equals the numerator, x squared minus 15x plus 56. We're going to need to factor. So let's think. What two numbers multiply to 56 that add to negative 15? Okay, so let's see. Not 1, not 2. You guys try to think about it for a sec while I try to think about it. So... looks like it's going to be 8 and 7, right? Okay, so we're going to have x minus 8, x minus 7. They both need to multiply to positive 56 and add to negative 15. If we set those both equal to 0, we're going to get 8 and we're going to get 7. So we have two x-intercepts. And then our y-intercept, if we put 0 in for x, right, y-intercept, if we put 0 in for x, we'll get y equals 0 squared minus 15 times 0 plus 56 all over 0 squared minus 13 times 0 plus 30. Okay, so we have 56 over 30. Y is equal to. So if we reduce this, I'm going to first divide by 2. So I'll get 28 over 15. And can we do anything else? No, they're not divisible by 5. Let's see, are they divisible by 3? So what can we get? If we simplify this, we would get, I don't think it simplifies, right? So 5, 15, 15. No. Okay, so that's our final answer. So that's our y-intercept, right? Okay, I'm going to pause here and I'm going to call this page 1 just to make sure that this is working before I speak for a while. So make sure you have it written down. Remember, you can replay or forward ahead if you already know how to do this and just check your answers. And I'm going to make multiple videos. So page 1, this is page 1. I'm going to make the next video for page 2. And they'll all be on the web page.